Hey up, I'm Vu and welcome back to another episode of RimWorld. Let's get started, shall we? So we had an excellent ending to the last episode with these two centipedes and a poison ship that we dealt with. No issues, no major injuries apart from one or two wounds, but of course nothing to concern ourselves with because people should have been patched up. Yes, that is a question mark. By the looks of it, yep. Everyone's been patched up, no problems there. Okay, and beavers. Right, beavers. Don't like beavers. There shouldn't be too many to deal with. That's a lot of beavers. Okay, we'll mark them to be hunted. That will give us a bit of meat, and then we can go on to making kibble and pemmican, of course. Because we have a lot of food that we need to get rid of, and this is hops. Right. That's interesting, and that would make perfect sense because the brewery, we are not making any more wort. Okay, well that's a simple thing to fix up. Could have done that last episode, but no, we're doing it this episode. So let's make sure we always have, say, 10, 25... Well, it doesn't... What is it? One bit of hops doesn't make a single bit of wort. I think, what is it? The amount of wort that we need per barrel is 25, so if we just set a cap it at 25... Now they shouldn't go overboard. So essentially we always have enough wort to put in another barrel and we can keep it frozen in our stockpile number 6. Assuming that water's been set up correctly. Let's take a look. It's probably under raw materials and plant matter. Okay, it's not under there. Is it manufactured then? Manufactured wort. Excellent. So it'll be kept in this room, so that should be fine. But of course it's something that has to be done in the morning and... Ah, that's interesting. Oh, well, nearly speak of the devil, but I was about to talk about solar panels or just another form of power because it seems like we're running out overnight. I suspect that the sun lamp on the left, can I move it? No, I can't, is using a little too much power, but let's take a look. So solar panels, yep, so we can actually do more research, which means Val was probably down there, yep. Maybe, I was just thinking maybe I should hold off for the moment and let Val do other work, but no. I think we're just going to continue on doing more research. I think microelectronic basics. Because it needs to be done and that gets us closer to building ships and whatnot, but let's take a look. So the sun lamp, I suspect, is using most of our power up. That and the coolers. Probably the sun lamp because that's 1600 watts versus 20 watts versus 200 watts versus 175 watts. So yeah, the sun lamp uses an enormous amount of power, which could have been a little bit more careful with. Interestingly enough, these two turbines are not obstructed by anything, which is good to see, but they're not producing enough power. Actually, I lied, they are. Okay, so that explains it. So when these two actually drop too low, that's when we don't actually have enough power to supply the rest of the base, so there should be a net gain. Okay, so it's getting close. There we go. So we need, what, around about 500 or something watts at least for most of the base to be powered? Or at least 500 positive seems to be right. Safe enough. Okay, whatever, I'll just let that be. And that is very loud in my ear. Let's drop that down a few notches. Okay, so I haven't had a chance to take a good look at our sun lamp and see how this is all going. So it is a non-ideal temperature of 6 degrees in this room, so it might be worth putting a heater. Yeah, a heater couldn't hurt, and that will help speed up the amount of potato production. So let's go on to temperature, heater, and probably just place one on, I guess, the bottom edge will be fine. And set the power, but no, we're out of, and set the temperature, but we're out of power again. Okay, well, good thing is... Wow, that is still way too loud in my ear. Oh, that's better. You know, it's very hard to hear yourself speak or even listen to what you say when the doors are just going in your ear. What was I doing? I was considering solar flares. No, I wasn't. Oh, we got a solar flare. That's not great. I was actually going to consider... whereabouts is it? It's under power. Solar panels. Huzzah! We have the components, yes, and we do... That's kibble. Some of the listing is still 630 units, so yeah, we can make a couple of solar panels. It's a little unfortunate that I can't actually fit them along the back wall completely here. I think we can fit maybe one solar panel in. That shouldn't be obstructed by anything. Would have been nice to put a second one in, but we can't fit it, so let's see, do we place a couple more along this back wall, or how are we going to do this? Because we still need more rooms and more of everything. We need more space in general. Don't think we can fit one. Nah, putting one here isn't great. This is right near the entrance, and as I said before, I want to keep it open. Okay, we'll place one solar panel down. That will help us through the day, and maybe a fuel generator couldn't hurt. It's not really what I'm too keen on doing. Okay, well, let's just place that down, see how it turns out, and when the solar flare ends, we get the power and work from there. Now, this heater's been set up, so potatoes, what is their ideal temperature? Now, let's take a look. It's actually not marked. That's interesting. I suspect that keeping it to at least 15 degrees should be sufficient. Let's see. Temperature is, what, 13? Or even 13 seems to be fine. There's no complaint about it being too cold inside. Well, that's pretty simple then. So let's lower it down to, I guess, 13. We don't want to use too much power where possible. Awesome, and there we go. That's the solar panel. Let's connect it back up to the network, which is 2 cables, and work out where we're going to go from there. Now, personally, I think it is time to make a second growing patch, and maybe retire one of these patches, just because, well, we've got other growing areas which may be better suited. And since this space is all inside and quote-unquote safe, we've still got a few wooden walls around the place, I'd rather reuse it for rooms and whatnot. Yeah, okay, so I think we're going to retire first patch. First room will be... The first patch that we're going to retire is this room, so we're going to delete the zone. I think these plants may continue to grow on their own. I don't know, we'll just see what happens. So that's potatoes, we've already got a potato patch. Rice patch we're leaving, same with the devil strand, though I suspect I may want to make it smaller. And the hill root, I may actually push that towards the edge, just so we can maximise the amount of space, because hill root takes a hell of a long time to get done. Now what about the hops? Well, when it comes to the hops, not sure if I want to alter it quite yet. I do suspect that we are producing a lot of beer. 81 bottles so far. And how many barrels do we have going? Looks like we've got maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 barrels producing beer. It's not bad. And yet someone is actually making spare wort, which gets used, and it's not refrigerated. Oh yeah, that's right, because the power's out. That's not great. Okay, well, it'll be fine for the moment. Hopefully the solar flare doesn't last for too long. I don't suspect that using a passive cooler will do anything, because it's only about 15 degrees in there. Yep, 15. Okay, let's continue things moving on, and work on the next set of growing patches. So my concept originally was to do something like this and then have another one up top. Like I said before, it does overlap on this marsh area, so I wonder if we can shift it by 1, leave a gap and have like a second field just over here. So something like that would be what I'd be considering, because it tries to maximize as much space as possible. So let's place that one down. I will cancel this job, and then we'll just work out roughly the locations. So of course someone will get around to it in their own time. Eventually. Anytime now, guys. Wouldn't mind it. Of course. A solar flare is not complete without a raid. A group of pirates on the grey crossbows have arrived. They'll prepare and then they'll attack. So whereabouts are you? Oh, down the left. That's not too many guys. And a lot of you have shields, so that's mainly melee, I believe. Okay, well, hopefully no one goes wandering down this way. No. That's not how we're gonna deal with it. Can't just hope for the best. We need to make sure people are restricted in the home zone. Also, probably why no one has got around to the sun. Building the sun lamp quite yet. But no, people stay in the home zone. They stay safe. We don't have to worry about them. And yeah, just keep an eye on when they decide to attack raid-wise. So everyone has work? No, we don't. Not everyone has work. Orange, you're not doing anything. And why is that? Well, you're drunk for one. Yep, you've generally got a few moodlets going. Okay, let's take a look at your work priorities. And orange, you're a healer who can't heal, which would be right. Set for hunting, growing, mining, plant cutting, and nothing else. Even researching. Researching? Nah. You have work to do, I'm very sure about that. I'm looking at the right person, yeah. There is work to be done. Apart from the fact that there are no tables, we must be blasting through this. Wow, look at us go. Okay, maybe we need more research tables. Didn't think that would be the case. Or people are going to go to sleep. But no, the attack's happening, so time to get everyone sorted out, positioned right, and of course, yeah, it's all around safe. So good thing is, people are safe. They're inside the home zone. Now it's time to recruit and make sure everyone has weapons when they run over this way. So let's just quickly go to the listings. Apart from Toxo, who can't fight, so I'll unrecruit you. Everyone has a weapon. Okay, too easy. Nothing to worry about there. Except, I need to check where these guys are attacking. You're attacking a power switch, that's inside our base. Wooden door, inside. That's inside our base, and that's also inside our base. So you're coming through the main entrance. Awesome. Not smart enough to break through our walls, which is good to see. So, positioning times. Melees are always on the outside edge. Fu can go on the inside. Actually, I'd rather keep Fu safe. Fu has taken a large amount of injuries quite recently. Maybe, I don't know, we'll think about it. Kanga, who else? You got another melee, so that's orange sits on the outside. Bauer, a survival rifle, goes in the outer edge. Trado, knife, also on the outside. Falcon, machine pistol, or is it SMG? Machine pistol, on the inside edge. Same with Sparkles, who's another pillar. Actually, wait, let's move people around. Bauer, you get to move in. Val gets to stay on the edge, because I'd rather Val stays as safe as possible. And, oh, Soul Flare is ending. If only we had turrets. Well, I don't think we can even get the research for that quite yet. Oh, it's probably under one of these listings and I'd have to search for it. There we are, gun turrets, which is microelectronic basics, which is actually what we're working towards. So no, we're on the right track if we want to get turrets. Whether or not we actually do is another question all again. I don't know, I'll think about it. I'll think about it indeed. So let's see, everyone should be lined up roughly now. Let's see, I pull both our melee characters back, and Sparkles, you've got a pillar. I wonder, can we position someone behind someone else? Or do we pull them back by one? Because the sandbags does provide cover. I don't know if sandbags provide cover if you're one space behind. Okay, so let's see, Falcon. Yep. Oh wait, Fu's got EMP grenades. That's not going to work out. Well, lucky you, Fu. You get to be unrecruited. You're a little useless for this attack. Unless EMP grenades affect shields. Because those are electronic, technically. Well, my opinion is they're electronic, so they, in theory, would get affected. I wonder. Let's take a look at these pirates once again. So, the gear... Yeah, the personal shield. Let's take a closer look. It's an energy shield device. Attempts to stop rapid moving projectiles or energy attacks that may come from a distance. It does nothing against melee attacks or shots from point blank range. Or also prevents firing past touch range. Okay. It doesn't say anything about if EMP grenades affect shields. Actually, Fu, maybe you're not so useless after all. I'm very curious to see how this goes, but we'll place you back one, and Sparkles gets to go in front. Actually, we could actually test this out right now. EMP grenades don't do damage to people, right? Right. Come, Trader. How about... so I have to test this, honestly. If Trader gets damaged, so that's quote-unquote their fault for letting me do this. But hopefully Fu doesn't have too much of a bad aim and fire. And just reset you so you don't do anything, and what happens? Yep, so your shield does completely disappear. EMP grenades do affect it, so Fu definitely stays engaged in this bit of combat. Out of curiosity, yep, no injuries. Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to know. I'll place you back over and just wait for these pirates to come around. which is pretty much any second now. Unless you're igniting potato plants like that. Okay, well, we'll let you continue igniter and just wait for them to enter our base. No, it's probably not smart to leave these potato plants out here any longer. It's not helping us at all. Food, you can move up by 1. Actually, might as well just start chucking the EMP grenades down just in case they decide to wander in. Or not. Can we get you to chuck them over walls? Nah, you can't chuck them over walls. You can shoot through walls, but you can't chuck them over walls. Okay, well, let's see how long this takes then. And the shield definitely has helped. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. We took down a shield. So any shots should hit them directly. And they're fleeing. And can we get the last person? Love it if we could. So this is Tumor. To be honest, I don't know why, but I want to capture another person. We have a lot of people in this base as is, but you know, maybe another person couldn't hurt us. Actually, Lumi is dead. Who's this person here? I am seeing a name, an exclamation mark. Wilkinson the Oaf. You're good at growing, mining, artistic, and crafting. Hey, maybe we can actually get some statues made now. Assuming we can capture them and they decide to join our team. Let's take a look. Don't think there's anything we can really see. You're missing your left eye, so let's see. What does that mean? That means moving is... moving's probably to do with your other body parts. Yeah, I say. Okay, well, let's just see what happens. So that should continue going, and oh, we did manage to get to Timor after all. The Archer. He was frail. I don't know whether to send someone frail to come after me. But there we go. Time to unrecruit everyone. And restrictions can be, well, unrestricted of course. So we keep this moving on. Now, we do have 1 room to use for this prisoner. So I'll get food to capture them right now. Yes, we want to capture them. I was just thinking because there's capture and there's... what was the other one? You know, if you get someone coming from a fallen down ship. Which is called what? Escape pod. There we go. Foo. Oh wait, Foo can't doctor, can you? No, you can't. Foo, you in theory you could doctor, but I think you're hopeless. Maybe we'll just turn you on just so I can get you to patch up Wilkinson ASAP. Not strip. How about treating? There we go. And you're not using medicine either. Do we want medicine? Let's take a look. 99% difficulty. We're not gonna get you, are we? I wonder. Exotic goods trader, they aren't slave traders. Oh, that's right. So if they're not slave traders, we probably can't sell Wilkinson to them. You know what? Why not? 99% chance. That's another person in the base we don't need. Let's release them. And make sure they don't get food. Patch them up, release them. And that's enough, I think. Oh, I'm sorry, Wilkinson. We aren't going to grab you this time. Not this time around. But it is time to unforbid all these items just still here and make sure the bodies are stripped. There's no point in hauling them all the way to the stockpile and then not strip and then having to strip them, because that's a long way to walk around. I wonder, how far away would the electric crematorium be? Okay, 1500 versus how much longer from micro? Our crematorium would be a lot faster, and it means we can get rid of the bodies. It also uses a lot of power. Ooh, I don't know. We'll leave it and just see what happens, I think. How about that? So, who are we going to get to chat to these guys? These exotic traders. Well, this time they've actually walked inside the base, which is nice, instead of standing on the outside. So, when we want to do some trading, we want social. So we have a 1, disabled, 10, who else? I think it's only the 10. Which, of course, is Val, our expert researcher. So Val, oh wow, 19 on research. You're pretty close to hitting the 20. Pretty close, but not quite. Okay, let's get you to chat with Kiffy and see what they have to sell / buy from us. So we could sell off the 2 baby huskies or even the dogs. Nah, we want to keep them around. They're always going to be useful for hauling and doing other types of work. Okay, well I'm going to go and look through the listing and I'll see you guys in just a sec. Okay, this is what I think we're going to do. So we're not going to do anything with the dogs, so keeping them for the time being. And no reason to sell. They're more useful to us now. despite the number of colonists we already have. We're going to buy a little bit of neuromine just so we can get us up to 30 in case we decide to use it for making proper medicine components. Just buy one for the sake of it, because that 39 might as well make it round. Not that that's a very good reason. Okay, now we're going to sell 40 bottles of beer. That'll give us a little bit of cash to work with, which unfortunately we're still on negatives, and we're selling a lot of the nasty clothing, trying to keep some of the more higher quality, more expensive bits of clothing. It's going to be better for us and better for the colonists to wear. It also frees up some of our stockpile, which is going to be incredibly useful. Now, the last thing we're going to do is actually buy a telescope. I kind of think, hey, wouldn't it be nice if our colonists actually had something else to look at? And well, a telescope you look through, close enough. That's what we're going to do. And I suspect, is the item dropped here? It is, there we go. So you want to install that in some location where people can then see out to the stars. Which I'm going to assume might be, hopefully not somewhere in the way, probably somewhere like here. There we go. So of course someone will have to get around to doing it, hauling items and so on. But I think we're looking perfectly fine so far. And yeah, we're still not producing enough power, though the solar panel does help. Because these batteries are not storing really any charge. Suspect that it dissipates overnight. So, how's the temperature in this room now? No issues with the temperature, it is sitting at 13 degrees, which the power usage is high. Okay, that's just something to keep note. Just double checking, people were unrestricted? Yeah. Just wondering when the sun lamp was going to be built. So we can build our sort of secondary room. I'm just thinking, there was no animals coming in then. That warg wasn't deciding to come in and try and kill any of our pets. Because I'd hate that to be the case. Actually, double checking, I have got everything set up for the pets. Apart from basic training with the pups. Okay, let's get that done ASAP. And actually, Fu, you can go back to your... Prancer can go back to their master Fu, and same with Freckles, who can go back to their master Falcon. That should make people a little bit happy with moods. And we have a couple of minor break risks, which is Fu. Well, you should be a little happier given that you are now the master again, Prancer's master. Which, yeah, you're really quite positive, so nothing to much to worry about there. Oh, Alpha Beaver Revenge. Well, this is always going to happen, and hopefully that's not all these beavers. That is all those beavers. Right. Time to restrict everyone inside, and Falcon, run like hell. Run like the wind. How about a fly over the wall? That might help us. And yep, you're going to get away from them perfectly fine. Cool. Now, I don't think we can do a trader's defense at all. Get these traders to come through and have these alpha beavers attack them. So we're going to bring everyone and place them just at the main entrance. Including Toxo? No, not Toxo. And time to order everyone. So on the outside, go with the melee, always along the edges and the center are the range people. Fu has no weapon which will affect these beavers. EMP grenades won't do a thing. So we'll get everyone to line up. Sparkles, you're coming inside. Excellent. I might grab you as well and place you just in the gap. The Falcon's just about here. Okay, Trado, go on the right. Toxo, you are not doing anything. What are you doing? No, don't do that. Okay, I'll just hold you for the time being. I don't want you wandering outside, just as we're being attacked by alpha beavers. You know, that said, this is going to save us a lot of hauling work because it's so much closer. But Falcon, you're nearly inside. Excellent. And one of the other melee people. Okay, they're on the left. Falcon, place you just over here, and that should be fine. Fu, not the time to cloud watch. You can go stand next to Toxo because you're not very useful right away. Nope, Orange, you're not meant to be standing there. That's why we had one extra person out back. Okay, slow it down and see how this turns out. Don't suspect we'll have any issues. Be nice if a few traps go off and kill these animals dead straight. So far we're looking fine. Oh, might be time to get in a melee attack. And Trado, once again, come over here for the melee. Melee over here. And yep, once more melee. Awesome. So people have taken a few probably bites and scratches, even a gunshot. Bow, how did you take a gunshot wound? Were you was what's her name? Sparkles shooting directly at you? Darn it! It seems like they were. Well, that's a disappointment. Trado, come on, back out. give everyone in their room while they fire off at the last alpha beaver. Awesome. That should be it. Don't think there's any more to worry about. Oh, wasn't that easy. Okay, unrecruit everyone and let them get back to their business. And possibly in medical beds, yeah. Assuming everyone who has been or who was injured. Darn it. Your right thumb was shot off, Falcon. What are we going to do with you? Well, replace your arm eventually. That's what I think. And Kanga, yeah, even you've got a few injuries. Maybe we could turn this area into sort of like an extended medical ward of sorts. It seems like it would be useful. Yeah, I like that idea. Let's do it. And obviously these bodies have been unforbidden, and yet they are all being hunted. So eventually they'll get hauled in and we'll butcher them, produce kibble, and do the rest of the works. So, where's the doctor? No one is doing doctoring straight away, which is kind of annoying, and yep, people who can doctor are not doctoring, because they're deciding to rest. Try it again. Sparkles, you gotta help, well, Kanga, you gotta help Sparkles, and you gotta help Falcon. The sooner we get them out of bed and onto doing other work, the better off we'll be. Who else is being treated? Oh, Bauer, that's right. Bauer is on the other side of the map and certainly has a few issues. But I think we're fine once more. Oh, what is... see, you know, I was thinking, hey, a Wag's going to attack us sometime soon, and lo and behold, a Wag's attacking us. These animals, what are we going to do with these foreign animals? Oh, and that'd be right, there is no one close enough to soak up a few injuries. Apart from you two, actually. Not the dining chair. Can we get a melee in? I'd love a melee. You attack the Wag. Hopefully Freckles might help Shooter before Shooter dies, which honestly seems like one more hit by the looks of it. There's not much of a bar left there. And Val will also recruit you and maybe see if we can place you in the doorway. Now we... darn it. Would have been worth selling Shooter after all then. Okay, well this Wag is not going to escape scot-free, that's for sure. No way, no sir. No sir. No sirree? No way? Okay, well. Let's deal this Wag and make sure it's ruse the day. No, that it regrets attacking us. Okay, well, hopefully Val can get through. Val can't get through. Stand the door and start shooting, and same with you, Kanga. Get you to help us. And Wag Revenge. Oh, whose fault is that, Wag? Actually, Legu might have a few injuries if we let them soak all the melee damage, especially with a Wag. So I wonder, maybe Sparkles? Can we get you over here? And who else can we grab? I don't see anyone close by again. Not liking the look of this, and Bauer... Oh, I guess Bauer can come out of bed. Help us out just a little bit. Legu, maybe it is time to run. Or not, wow. You certainly know how to wield that club, don't you, Legu? Even though you're missing your left big toe now. We're losing toes and fingers everywhere in this colony, it's not funny anymore. Okay, unrecruit you guys, and hopefully everyone is fine. Got a feeling a few more people need to be patched up. But that's nothing too much to worry about, so let's actually go through the health listing and take a look. We've got a left toe missing, so someone should be coming to treat you. Bauer, you're drinking. Let's grab Kanga. You're playing horseshoes. How about we get you to not rest? Treat Legu. Who's deserved by Trader? I'm doing nice to know. Sorry, you could have gone and played horseshoes after all. No, I can't get you to go back over there anyhow. Oh, that's unfortunate. So, Legu's being treated, and that should be patched up. Yep, torn off, there we go. And we have a scratch to deal with. And a crack from an alpha beaver. A big whack on the tail across the face. Anyhow, there we go. I think Kanga will also be fine. I should check the listings again. Oh, okay, let's go through. Make sure there is no one bleeding and no one we have to worry about, which seems to be the case. Awesome. It's good to see, but we still need more power. This base needs to be more power hungry than it currently is. And another group of traders. Yep, different group. Okay, I'll let them come closer and then we'll deal with them soon. But I think it is, of course, time to build a wall. I was hoping we could do a bit more building this episode, but it seems to have turned out to be more, or just generic fighting once more. So yeah, we'll build this wall down to here and hopefully expand it a little bit more, give us a bit more space to work with and so on. Maybe a few solar panels can go along this back wall. Yeah, because we have the room for it along the top section. And I suspect that will be enough to help us out. So yeah, I'll let that be and we'll see how that happens. So I'll see you guys in just a sec. Well, looks like we just got a few cargo pods this morning. Cargo pods, what are they this time? We have human meat. Well, I guess technically we can make kibble from it and the dogs won't mind. Let's unforbid it. Hopefully people don't mind cooking with it though. It's not like you recognise the face of whoever it was. So I will just double check when it comes to cooking meals we aren't going to use human meat. Let's check. So meat, human meat, I see a couple of unticked ones. Human meat is of course turned off, good. And I suspect that will be the same with this table below. Okay, so when it comes to making kibble, okay, we have enough kibble anyhow. Do until we have, let's make it a few more units. Let's make it 100 units. No, let's make it just 50 units. Just, I want to make sure we use some of the human meat. I mean, the human meat, of course, won't be used in pemmican or anything else because it's been unticked. So we're safe there, but I don't want to also keep it around in storage where possible. Actually, just checking. Storage, meals, raw food, meat. We can store human meat. We can't store insect meat. But we can store human meat. Okay, that's fine then. Cool, so someone get around to hauling it in and looks like we're safe. Now this wall is actually nearly done. People just need to haul a few more blocks in place and of course build them. So I think it is actually probably, well, let's see, how many blocks do we have left of sandstone? 281 units. Perfectly fine. Okay, well we can actually deconstruct this outside wall and then probably call it, I guess, a day. Yeah, I don't suspect we're going to get anything more done this episode anyhow. So yeah, still kind of open. Hopefully people can grab the blocks in. Also do the hauling. I suspect we'll probably have to use the main storage area to get this done. But that's fine. That's nothing too much to worry about. Okay, well I think this is a good point to leave it for this episode. Not much has been done, but we're still balancing things out and things are still progressing relatively well. And we're missing a block. Because someone needs one block in place. Okay, so hope you've enjoyed it. If you have anything to say, feel free to leave it in the comments below. But, as I've said in the past and will say in the future, I'll see you around sometime.